What's good, everyone? My name is Casey Crutchfield, and welcome to episode 40. That's right, episode 40 of Enjoy Life. Before we get started here today, please hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to leave a comment. Truly appreciate all the comments and all the love and support you guys give me. But without further ado, we have a little solo episode today. Not what I was really expecting. We were supposed to do an episode earlier in the week, but some scheduling conflicts kind of interfered with that. So it's going to be next week instead. And we got two great guests ahead these next couple weeks and some exciting things that I really can't share just yet, but y'all find out within the next week or two. So I'm truly excited for that. But instead today we're just going to talk about, maybe how things don't go as well or how you expected. And also we're going to reflect on 40 episodes of Enjoy Life, only 12 more until we get a full year of podcasts, which seems crazy to think about. It feels like episode 4, not episode 40. And I'm just truly blessed. And we're going to kind of reflect on, how we've grown and, what's really changed in these 40 episodes of Enjoy Life. So once again, thank you guys so much. I think in general, the podcast has grown a bunch. Growth as far as subscribers worth maybe hasn't gone significantly up these past couple weeks, and that's okay. There's always room for improvement, but I'm just truly blessed to get 40 episodes in. I feel like that's something that not every podcast does. Not everybody makes it to 40 episodes, and to say that it's been weekly, maybe with the exception of 1 or 2 weeks, it's it's just crazy to think about, and I'm truly blessed. I think we've grown a lot as far as guests are concerned too. Not saying that the guests earlier on weren't big or anything. I'm truly grateful for all of those people, but I think we've started to get more well-known people like Brody. Another one that was really that meant a lot to me was the Coker episode. Once again, shout out my guy Brennan Chasson for that. But that was a great experience. Also doing the one from Barstool, even though that was early on, that was great to do. And just really all of them mean something different to me, and they mean the most. But those are just some that stick out to me. Some other ones is the first one, of course. The other day I actually went back and watched the first episode, and I think as a person I've changed so much. I'm not saying that, well, before I say anything, I just want to start and say that I'm definitely not at my best yet. I have so much room to improve, and I'll be the first to admit that there's plenty of things that I need to work on, but there has been so much change within these 40 episodes. I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable on the camera, especially doing this by myself right now. I feel like I can carry a conversation more with a guest. I felt like I was more nervous with my questions and what to ask and what to talk about early on. And now, it just feels routine. It feels comfortable. I feel like I can ask better questions along as the podcast goes through. And I'm glad that I've been able to get better at my craft to give y'all better content. Another thing, and this is just something that I need to work on as a person, is getting guests more organized. And that kind of ties into how this week has been busy. Basically, usually I like to have episodes planned out like at least 2 weeks prior. And I kind of got out of a groove of doing that more towards like Christmas break. And that's something that I need to get back on track because this week has been, it has gone by so fast. Like I said, I'm in grad school and it seems like everything is due this week. And between getting that done and having to do this, it gets really busy, it gets really complicated, and it gets hard at times. A lot of times, actually. A lot of times this week I was just laying on the floor, just like I'm exhausted. It's been a late night every night doing schoolwork. And then, you have expectations that you're going to have a podcast out, like an actual guest this week. But then like I said, things happen, and that's why it's important to have episodes in advance. So at least I know following this episode, I'll have 2 weeks of material, so I have 2 weeks to find more guests. And it's not even the struggle of finding guests, it's just finding that date and setting it in stone and being able to film that day. And it gets complicated because, people have things. I try to be as flexible as I can be, but also, I have school, and school is kind of the number one priority right now. And it's important that I stay on my game with that. But besides that, I'll kind of go into what you can expect the next 2 weeks. Next week's episode is going to be with a great brother of mine, Hunter Haas. Super cool guy. He plays baseball. He's in the Tampa Bay Rays organization. And I think it'll just kind of be exciting to get that view of what it's like doing such minor league things. Because, obviously people think of baseball and they think of the major leaguers, and, they have it set, they're in the big leagues. But just to see what it's like being, I don't want to say like at the bottom, but, just starting out, I think he got drafted not even a year ago. So being at the start of your career and starting off with the organization to see what that's like, I think it's very interesting. He has a great story. He's played baseball at Arizona State and at Texas A&M. So I'm super excited to sit down with him and just, have a conversation. That way y'all can resonate that with y'all life. And then the week after that, I'm having a great friend of mine, Blake Barbera. We actually filmed that episode today. Like I said, it's been a busy day, but Blake's an awesome guy. He owns his own business, Evolve Rehab and Recovery in Thibodaux. And I was so blessed to do this episode. He's a great person. And just kind of learning about physical therapy and learning how that process goes. It's a lot of school. I could tell it's a bitch. It's all right. I'll say it on camera. And, just to see someone go through schooling and all of that, it felt relatable and it felt good because, I think he said his was like a 2.5 year and mine's also like that. So just seeing someone else who's been in school for a long time and kind of understands the grind, it felt good to talk about that. And then also, it just felt good to talk to someone who owns their own business, because I think a lot of people my age want to be in a place in their lives at some point to where they can have their own business and, be their own boss. And I'm going to be real, I don't think school and stuff like that really teaches you how to own a business. Like in high school, I don't remember anything business-wise, like interest rates and all of that. I could be wrong. I've been out of high school for a while, but I just feel like you're not really prepped for those people who just want to go and own a business. So hearing what that looks like from day to day and how that process works, that was super interesting. And then also, I'll drop this little hint. I don't want to talk about it too much, but Blake is also in charge of Thibodaux Main Street, downtown Thibodaux. And so we're going to be experimenting a little bit and having some guests on the pod that are from downtown. And I'll just leave it at that. It's going to be super exciting. And I'm blessed for that opportunity. And that's just another thing I want to talk about, really. Through these 40 episodes, we've slowly started to build a credibility. Blake reached out to me, just from seeing my page, and we were in the same fraternity. He's older than me, but that's kind of how we know each other, and from Johnny's. But just building those relationships and for him to reach out to me and talk about downtown, I mean, like I always say in episodes, that was just gas in the tank, because it just tells me that I'm doing something right and that I'm on the right path and I'm going to keep on going no matter how hard it gets, especially this week, because like I said, this week has been a bitch and I still got a shit ton of stuff to do, but have to get this episode out. And it's honestly on me. I'm going to hold myself accountable. It's literally 4:50 right now, and this needs to drop at 6. So I got so much work to do, and I shouldn't have done it last minute, but it's just because of the schoolwork. Sometimes It gets really overwhelming, but I promise I will do better. I'm going to learn from my mistakes, and we're going to make these next 40 episodes even greater. Uh, Another thing that I did not mention in this episode, I want to thank God for just planting this idea in my head of doing a podcast and actually letting me follow through with it. Um, I'm not going to say I was doubtful that I'd reach 40 episodes or that I'd quit, but I knew it wouldn't be easy. And going through the first 10, I didn't know how I'd get the next 10 or the 10 after that. But that's nothing that you have to worry about. You just have to go out there and do your best and try. And God's just going to take care of the rest of it. And He truly has. And I'm so blessed for this opportunity. And I'm just going to take it or run with it and see where it goes. But I think we're going to wrap this episode up. Like I said, I don't have too much, and I did plan a guest this week, but like I said, things fall through. And just apply that to your life. If something doesn't go your way or you're expecting something and it doesn't, I know we talked about this like 2 weeks ago. It's almost the same kind of concept, but it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. Just call a quick audible and you'll be fine. But once again, I know I've probably said it a bunch in this episode. I want to thank you guys. I mean, y'all mean the world to me, and y'all are my why. Just hearing people say good job on the pod, or I listen to your podcast, or when they say they liked a specific episode, that really means the world to me. And I hope you guys enjoy these solo episodes. I know sometimes they're just kind of last minute, but I apologize, and I promise I'll do better. We're going to wrap this episode up, episode 40, and cheers to the next 40 episodes, because I'm going to make them as great as I can, and I'm going to do my best. Thank you guys so much. We're out.